Alright, much ado about nothing. Playing some 5-color Slivers in Modern. And this is fine. We don't have green mana for Collected Company, but we can Sliver Hive into Gale Rider. We have a pretty aggressive and evasive clock, so I think this is a fine keep. Inquisition's going to slow us down. Kind of interesting if they take Predatory Sliver to keep us from pumping up our team or Collected Company. They do take Predatory Sliver. If this is 8 rack, that would be kind of annoying. Well, let's Gale Rider, Mutavault, and start beating in for 1. If this is 8 rack, we pretty much just need to race. Alright, Raven's Crime, we'll pitch the Collected Company. We're not going to have time to cast it. And Raven's Crime, we'll pitch Cavern. I think Watery Grave is better because it turns on our Sedge Sliver. Well, let's activate Mutavault, get in for 4, play a Mutavault, pass the turn. And, Ensnaring Bridge. We don't have a great out to that in the main deck. Watery Grave, untapped. Or maybe we do. You would have to look at our list. Should we just get in for as much as possible, probably? That probably makes the most sense. Activate Mutavault. Activate Mutavault. Get in before our opponent gets empty-handed enough that we can't attack. Get them down to 9. Mutavault of their own. I guess we have Necrotic Sliver. Is something. When a Dark Confidant. Alright, well, let's Diffusion Sliver, get in for 2. Dark Confidant kind of works against Ensnaring Bridge. They hit a Liliana. Oh, Liliana's going to make sure their hand remains empty. There's Liliana. And nothing can attack. Alright, another Mutavault, pass the turn. We basically gotta hope we can find Necrotic Sliver and activate it before our opponent ultimates Liliana. We can't cast Collected Company. Pumps up Liliana, discards a Swamp. Foil Tempest. Opponent has an unruly pack of... Wow, even premium deck Slivers. All different. Do we even want to play Predatory Sliver? The problem is the bridge. I guess we do just because of Liliana. It gives us a chance to keep things behind on the battlefield after Liliana ultimates. And we'd have to discard it anyway. It makes it harder for us to attack, though. Like, if our opponent somehow got stuck with a card in hand, but with Liliana, the odds of them getting stuck with a card in hand are pretty slim. They could also bob themselves to death. They might have to kill their own Dark Confidant at some point. Because if they flip a Bridge or a Liliana, they just die to their own Dark Confidant. But they're going to stay on the risky path and just hope they don't die to Dark Confidant. Well, there's Necrotic Sliver, but we can't activate it. But we're going to cast it. Necrotic... Alright, Necrotic Sliver down. So, this is a turn. Our opponent can ultimate Liliana, but they also have to deal with their Dark Confidant, or they lose to that. Do they die? They get a Swamp. I guess they're hoping to hit an actual removal spell for Dark Confidant. plays another mismatch swamp. I think you'd have to intentionally do this. I don't even know how you end up with this. These lands. Alright, they go ultimate. They're going to do Slivers versus lands? Alright. Well, we'll keep our lands. Well, that's another necrotic sliver. We drew them both in a row. Pretty lucky. Now our opponent, if they're going to kill their own Bob, they might not have a removal spell for necrotic sliver. They're just going to keep rolling with this? Down to 2 for the rack. Are we going to survive a ultimate from Liliana? Well, we're not blocking your Dark Confidant. You're going to have to kill that on your own. There's the rack. Do they kill necrotic sliver? Not yet. Rack puts us down to 13. Blur sliver. Alright, let's just pass the turn. Dark Confidant says down to 1. Oh, so close. I don't even know if we want to. I guess we see. They can't. They're going to activate their Mutavault. Activate their Mutavault. Go attacking. Change their mind. The problem is they lose on the backswing. Potentially. Swings with everything. We take the beats down to 7. The Raven's Crime. Get rid of our Blur Sliver. Well, let's activate Mutavault. Pay 3. Oh. I guess I misclicked, but I think this still works. We take damage down to 4. I meant to sack the Mutavault we activated, but apparently when I clicked Necrotic Sliver, I was clicking Sacrifice. For some reason, I felt like I needed to click Necrotic Sliver and then click what we wanted to sacrifice, but apparently not. Alright, well, we survived. Well, we probably want Harmonic Slivers to deal with the racks. Going down, Darkheart Sliver, Spellskite, and Sentinel Sliver. Try it like that. Alright. Well, we got a lot of good stuff. Unfortunately, we're on the draw, so we're probably going to get smashed by discard here. Inquisition. Probably takes our Ether Vial. Yep, Ether Vial down. So, let's go Sliver Hive, go. Maybe I should have led on Watery Grave. I kind of didn't want our opponent to know we drew it. Alright. There goes our Darkheart Sliver. And jeez. That's 8 rack for you. This hand would have been a lot better if we were on the play. Well, let's go Mutavault, go. I guess leading on Mutavault was another good option so it could start attacking. The rack. And Shrieking Affliction. Let's attack with Mutavault. Watery Grave, tapped, pass the turn. Next turn we can Sedge Sliver with Reanimation backup. There's a Liliana. Pumps it up. We'll discard Cavern. Now that's a little worse. Green mana for Collected Company? Sinew Sliver. Alright, well let's... Sinew Sliver. Sliver Hive. Activate Mutavault. Hit Liliana down to 1. Our opponent's empty-handed, which is the good news. And they can't Edict with Liliana. So we... Oh, is this bridge off the top? Oh, Dismember. Alright, Dismember's okay. We will discard Collected Company. We do start taking damage from the racks. Harmonic Sliver would be a nice draw. Diffusion Sliver. Alright, so let's just... Let's activate Mutavault, kill Liliana. And just pass the turn. Try to minimize the damage of the rack. Another Shrieking Affliction. So we take 1. Well, I guess now we play our Sedge Sliver, leave up Regeneration mana, pass the turn. We might be able to erase this. Depends on how much discard they have. Thoughtseize, alright, Thoughtseize is going to mean we take a ton of damage. But they need to draw another discard spell. If they ever hit a land, they probably just lose. So we take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Predatory Sliver. We gotta hold that in hand, unfortunately, until it's lethal. But we get to hit for 6. Put our opponent to 8. So this is it. They gotta make us discard here. If they whiff on discard, then... Yep. Alright, we got it. Then we can play Predatory Sliver, and it's exactly lethal. Whoo! They had the all-rack draw, too. So, green and whatever. Predatory Sliver. Activate Mutavault, and we're hitting for exactly 8. Wow! Well, that was a close match, but we got there. Sweet.